How are you?
I'm good, Tony. How you doing?
And Troy is here helping us. We have a guest that I'm going to introduce a little bit later, but I have to get these intros in because last week Cody allowed me to just get off the air and didn't mention one thing that the Laborers are doing. So first I want to say welcome and listening to us on 900 WRD AM and 96.1 FM. Also, social media, you can watch us live on WordRadio.com, right? And also Facebook. Word at Forward, and Troy, I can't see, I'm sorry. Twitter at onWURD, also Instagram and Tumblr the same at onWURD. You can watch us live. And also you can watch us at Leston, LECET, Philly, 5 County, where we are live streaming. We're sharing the live stream. So today you can call in also at 215-634-8065 or 1-866-361-0900. Like us on our Labor Strong Facebook page, members, and everyone of you are watching and listening, where Health and Safety have post pictures of their health awareness events and campaigns, in addition to photos of the members who participate in the campaigns. And first I want to say Health and Safety has been doing a lot. They did the Broad Street Run. They also participated in the 47, stair flights that you had to climb for blood cancer awareness, which was great. They're doing a host of things. So go to myldcbenefits.com and retrieve the benefit funds information for pension, prepaid legal, and our health and welfare fund, and also sign up for a lot of the events that Health and Safety are doing this year for the entire family. I'm going to just announce a few. First thing that they're doing, and put my glasses on, financial wellness. They're having a retirement boot camp at the Exton Training School. Now, it's a 2-day event from May the 18th, on May the 18th and May the 25th. They're Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., like I said, at a training fund in Exton. And basically, they're going to have a whole 2 days filled with information about retirement and also pension options. They're going to talk about saving and investing, Medicare, Social Security. So you need to go up there, members, if you're listening, register first in My LDC Benefits. And that way, if you have any information you're about to retire for you and your spouse, you really need to get this information. It really will help you kind of plan your future in a sense. And also, they're going to have giveaways because that's what we do, and lunch is included. So please go to myldcbenefits.com and register for the Wellness Boot Camp. Also, Labor's Local 413 is having their second annual Taiwan On for Prostate and Colon Cancer fundraiser. They're having Saturday, June the 15th. Now, this is going to be at the Taylor Energy Stadium at 2501 Seaport Drive in Chester. And it's a walk, run, and ride. You can ride your bike, you can walk with the kids, you can run if you're a runner or jogger. This should be real fun. So please join them at 413. It's the second annual. The first one was such a huge success that they're going to try to make it and do it every year. And if you're interested, members or non-members, someone in the Chester area, or if from the other locals you just want to support them, call 610-872-5328 and ask for Mark Freeman for the Taiwan On for prostate and colon cancer. Also, Labor's Local 57. I just love all these things the Laborers are doing. Labor's Local 57, they have their annual scholarship fund. It is the 13th annual charity golf outing. And what they do is they raise scholarship funds for their members and their members, kids. So they're honoring longtime supporters, Brian Boyer, business manager of the Labor District Council, and also O'Brien, Bella, and Brzezinski, attorneys at law. If you're interested, this is on Friday, June the 21st, at the Five Ponds Golf Course, 1225 West Street Road in Warminster, and that is an event. If you want to be a sponsor or participate, please call George Hutt at 215-928-8857 for the Labor's Local 57 Scholarship Fund. I have one more announcement. MyLDCbenefits.com, if you go to that, the Health and Safety Fund are partnered with Independence Blue Cross, and they're our health and wellness vendor, medical vendors. They have a program that they have, a wellness program, and it's called Move Into Wellness. And basically what you do is you can download an app on your iPhone or your Galaxy, and you download the app and you fill information out, of course, because they want to get to know you, your health, your family's health. It's not a lot, though. Just put, I think it's your email address, I want to say, because I haven't done it, but I will this weekend. Email address, you get a password, and what you do is they have different categories of health and wellness that you can click on, and each category is worth a certain amount of points. Well, I think when you get to 200 points, so just say if they wanted to do a whole ask you questions about your kids, how have your kids had any certain illnesses, it might be an app for kids. What you do is you fill that information out, and that might be worth 20 points. So they have like a host of categories that you just fill the information out. They're short and sweet, nothing is too long. They do have 2 mandatory ones you have to fill out. The point is they're giving the members a $200 gift card, and all you have to do is accumulate 20 points. So when you go on to myldcbenefits.com, you will see the icon that says IBX. Click on it, and you can read all of the information for the program, the Move Into Wellness program, and you can, once you qualify and get your 200 points, you can get a $200 gift card, member. So that's interesting too. So I want to see how many people join up for that. That was a mouthful, but I will not forget to pay the bills and acknowledge what the laborers are doing. And on that note, it is May, which is Mental Health Month, and we have our friend of the show, Miss Farida Celine Boyer here. How are you?
I'm fine. I dropped the Celine, so I'm just Boyer now.
Oh, she's just Boyer. Yes. Isn't that excellent? Yes. Oh, I know your husband loved that. That is great. So Farida Boyer is here today, and we're going to talk a lot bit about mental health and the stigma in the Black community. We're going to talk about, misdiagnosed children and adolescents who could possibly, turn into troubled adults. We're going to talk about resources for support during recovery. And I just want people, we're going to open the lines up, like I said before, 215-634-8065 and 1-866-360-900, because we want people to call in. If you're brave enough, call in and share your story. I know people too often face this condition in silence. So because people think that way, we want you to call in and basically share your story and let people know they're not by themselves. Give us your breakthrough stories, about your kids or a family member who's experienced some type of mental health or mental illness. And like I said, we have Farida Boyer, licensed marriage and family therapist, CEO of Family Center Outpatient Therapeutic Services, and one of the founders of the Black Brain Campaign. And she has a partner, Janae Johnson. Say, I did my research good today, honey, because you've been here long enough. I need to make sure I get this right. The Black Brain, which is the nonprofit organization established since 2016, right?
So you see, I got one thing right,
wrong.
But you probably didn't know, because I have a lot of moving parts. So actually, I'm no longer with Family Center Outpatient Therapeutic Services.
Okay.
And I started the Boyer Counseling Group.
Well, tell us about that.
So the Boyer Counseling Group we'll have 2 sites. We'll still be at the 104 Bala Avenue location. Mm-hmm. In addition, we're moving to 5429 Chestnut Street in West Philadelphia.
Okay.
So we'll be having additional offices. There's about 5 or 6 therapists that's coming with me. So one, Janae Johnson is my partner for the Black Brain Campaign. She specializes in working with adolescents. So she strictly only sees teens. She's like the teen whisperer. And when I tell you, she's the best advocate for a teen. So it's like the teens love her. She'll be at the office. We have another therapist who specializes in grief and trauma.
Oh, wow.
So she's new, Sania Brown. Then we have Isabel Gautier. Isabel is also a licensed marriage and family therapist, so she'll be seeing families and individuals. Who else is it? You have a drug? Danette Blue, who came on the show
Right,
with me
right,
that
right,
time,
right.
she's supposed to be joining us. So we'll have a mix of specialties at the new site.
Oh, that's
So
You
wonderful.
started your own business?
Yeah, well, I always had my own business, but I had a partner before. Now I'm by myself. And I have employees and contractors working with me.
Great.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
Congratulations.
Can I get a yes? We can clap for that, Chloe. Stop it.
Thank
That
you.
is wonderful.
And then the Black Brain campaign. What we started to do was, we started like on a whim, like, all right, just from a Facebook page, like, let's go ahead and do some work with something with mental health.
Right.
So last May, we always like partner with city council and state reps to just go out in the community and provide services. So last May, State Representative Joanna McClinton asked us to go into one of the high schools and talk to the students about mental health. So we went to Sayre High School, which is my alma mater.
Okay.
Me and all my siblings went to Sayre and graduated from Sayre. So it was, I guess it had a special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in the schools providing services. So this school year, we actually just finished. We provided counseling in the schools with the students. So
like all the public schools?
No, just Sayre.
Okay, just Sayre. Okay.
We're just in Sayre
That's great, though.
For now. So because we believe that you should be meeting the kids where they are.
Yes.
And if they're in the schools, why not try to provide the services in the schools? So that's what we're doing. So hopefully we'll be back there next year. And because we only did it with their 9th grade class, we want to extend it to their 9th through 12th grades. So we'll be back and we were only there once a week. So now we want to be there additional days. So we're getting supports from other
she's a good one, Joanna McClinton too. She's awesome in her community. She really is. She does a lot.
So you have the school board working with you?
We're just in Sayre right now.
In Sayre right
just
now.
Sayre High
So
Schools.
did they do that?
We did it. We partnered with them to offer
individually
the
with
services.
Sayre.
With Sayre High School.
So you haven't done it throughout the system?
No,
before?
Not yet though. But with her team that she has, I'm quite sure they'll be in there. Yes,
It's
that's a good thing. That's
I think a lot
right.
of the kids need counseling.
So some of the community schools have counselors in them. So it's a difference between because Sayre does have what happened was actually this is what really happened. When Joanna asked us, State Representative McClinton asked us to go there, we talked to the students, and then a Facebook friend of mine, she had inboxed me because she's the counselor at Sayre and said, now I understand why all the students were coming to me talking about counseling. And because we were there that day.
Oh.
So then her and I started talking, and that's how we got together, partnered up, and we came up with just offering services in the school.
I think that's good because, like you said, you're meeting them where they are in a sense, and they may feel a little comfortable talking to you during those hours of school.
Right.
Then however, it looks like off-site. This is a place, a safe haven for them in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they will definitely probably feel comfortable talking to you during these hours of school, which would really.
And that's why we want to be more of a presence in the school because if we're there more days, then the students will feel apt to come. Like, I'm having a problem. Let's not fight it out. We can go talk to the counselors and the other counselors in the school. We want to free them up of providing therapy, so we want to be able to offer those services.
Well, they don't offer those kind of services.
No, they don't.
They mostly are scholastic counselors.
Right,
exactly.
Right. So because a lot of times people think like, oh, they're going to take our jobs, and Miss Fox is the counselor who we were, and she was awesome. Like she didn't feel because sometimes counselors think, oh, they're going to come and take my job. No, we just want to provide therapeutic services and let you have the opportunity to focus on those scholastic issues.
And they have to realize too, because of the gun violence that's going on in the neighborhoods, the kids need the outlet. They need to be able to talk to someone who maybe, just like you said, outside of academics, who can relate or maybe share these stories, because there's a lot of gun violence, and these kids, like we were saying before, are numb to it at times. But are they really numb? Is maybe they do want somebody to talk to and express themselves. So
it's so much going on, and keep your fingers crossed. We may have something coming down the pipe works. We're just trying to get some funding to combat some of the trauma and gun violence that's going on in the city. So
wow.
Yeah, so we'll just be We'll see. I'm not gonna.
Right.
Once we find out, once we get an
you can come right on the show and talk about it.
We'll come back and talk about it.
No, I think that's great though, meeting them where they are. It's the youth. They're going through a lot, and they take a lot on, and people don't realize that.
One of the things that we wanted to focus on, nobody really focuses on the teenagers. So that's kind of how the Black Brain campaign for this year was trying. Part of our program is really focusing on providing services. Our new office is actually around the corner from where Sayre High School is.
Okay.
So even if students feel like they need additional support,
they will
like
come
with their
to
parents,
you
they can just come around the corner with their parents. If it's after school hours and things like that, so they can still get services. We want to definitely make sure that they're getting the services that they need.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great outreach. People, like I said, to even go into school and they have someone that they can talk to about a lot of these issues that's going on, domestic violence, whatever is going on in the household and the communities, that they can talk to you all and feel comfortable enough. And like you said, you're right around the corner. So good luck,
Thank you.
Hopefully this time next year you'll be in, 10 schools, We like it. We like it. So you have anything else you want to share?
So as you said, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. We are partnering with the 22nd Police District and doing a mental health symposium on May 16th in 2019 from 6 to 7:30, and that is going to be hosted by Forgive Me Not, which provides youth services for at-risk, I believe they're homeless kids.
Oh, wow.
Adolescents. So we'll be there providing services. Again, we're working with Joanna McClinton. She's actually doing a town hall meeting every third Saturday of the month. But on May 18th, we'll be talking about mental health. May 18th from 11 to 2 o'clock. But like I said, every third Saturday she's at Divine Destiny Fellowship at 31 South 60th Street doing a youth town hall. And it's good because what happens with the youth is everybody talks to them, and not really listening to them.
And at them,
right. So we want to give them an opportunity
to express themselves.
We want to hear what they have to say, because we can all say, "Oh, you need to do this," or "You need to do that," but we want them to be able to
taking their experience and their perspective on it is going to be a really good thing, and that's all they want is people to listen to them and not say, "Oh, I already know what you're going to say," or I've been there, done that. But allowing them to express themselves, because we can honestly say a lot of the stuff that the youth are going through now, we have not experienced.
Not at all.
And with that being said, we'll come back on that note. We have to take a short break.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio. It's a very busy start to the commute on the Philly roads. This traffic report, it's sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer. 95 northbound, it is at a crawl from about Naaman's Road up to 452. Right lane blocked by a crash. The left two lanes are now getting by. Further north on 95, it is stop and go from Penn's Landing all the way up to the Betsy Ross Bridge. Southbound 95 jamming as well as you head from Woodhaven to Academy, then Broad Street down to Island Avenue. On the Vine Expressway, you are jammed both directions end to end. Schuylkill Expressway eastbound, that is jamming up from 202 down to Belmont, again the Boulevard to South Street. Westbound Schuylkill jamming from University to Girard, then you're at a crawl from Montgomery all the way out to about 476. Boulevard northbound is heavy, the Schuylkill Expressway into Broad Street, and on the Blue Route northbound, it's heavy getting on from 95 up to Route 1. Southbound is jamming anywhere from St. David's all the way down to I-95. Walt Whitman Bridge eastbound is heavy into Jersey, that's because 42 southbound jams from the Walt Whitman Bridge down to 295. Stop and go on 676 southbound from Atlantic Avenue down to 42. 295 southbound jamming from 38 down to the 42 freeway.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Brendan Joseph with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a word weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tammy Souza. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible overnight, with lows dipping to the upper 50s. On Saturday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs that reach the low 70s. Saturday night into Sunday morning, rain develops. It could be heavy at times, and it will linger on and off throughout Sunday, with waves of heavy rain through the morning and again at night. There could be a slight break in the afternoon, but it will be a gloomy day with plenty of cloud cover and highs only in the 50s. You can get the forecast anytime you like and follow our First Alert Doppler radar. Just download the free NBC 10 app.
Listen to Word Radio on the go with the Word Radio app. Search for WURD in your favorite app store today and take us with you wherever you go. Stay connected to Word Radio, independent Black media.
Hi, this is Sandra Dungy Glenn, Democratic candidate for City Council at Large on May 21st. You know me from WURD and my service on the school board and SRC. I'm running because Philadelphia is a city of haves and have-nots. We must do more to move families out of poverty and invest in people over property or profits. I hope to be the public servant to work with you, for you, and be available to you. Push number 77 for Sandra Dungy Glenn, City Council at Large. Paid for by Philly for Sandra Dungy Glenn, Trent Pettis, Treasurer.
Freedom's Journal, The Art of Jerry Pinkney, is now on view at the Woodmere Art Museum. Master watercolorist and renowned illustrator, celebrated worldwide and featuring over 100 artist illustrations, Pinkney's works presents spirited watercolors and powerful depictions focusing on the civil rights struggle and the pursuit of freedom, including Charles Blockson's groundbreaking escape from slavery, the Underground Railroad. You don't want to miss this. Freedom's Journal, The Art of Jerry Pinkney, now through May 12th. See it today. Visit woodmereartmuseum.org.
Listen live at wordradio.com.
Searching for a home care agency that provides care both needed and deserved? Call My Independence at Home at 215-921-2277 for a free in-home consultation. We are committed to providing compassionate home care for the elderly and adults with physical disabilities. 215-921-2277.
Open calendar. What's my schedule looking like?
Next Thursday, you will be caught in an emergency flash flood between Park and First Street.
What? No, that doesn't work. I'm busy then. Decline. Decline.
Floods don't exactly work around your schedule. Disasters don't plan ahead. But you can. It starts with talking to your loved ones about making an emergency plan. So don't wait. Communicate. Visit ReadyPA.org. Brought to you by ReadyPA.org, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
I know, I'm sorry. Welcome back. Cody's trying to catch me off guard. So we're here today for Rita Boy. You have any more information before we get started?
I do.
Come on.
So you talked about we're doing a workshop, a bullying workshop at Funplex. That's June 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
It's free for all members of the laborers district council.
That's right.
Then we're supposed to be participating in the Juneteenth program, which is also the same day from 12 to 7.
Well, you got a busy schedule that day.
Yeah, that's right. I had and then now, so then July 1st we'll do our opening for the Boyer Counseling Group. We'll be taking new clients that day.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be participating in Family Day on September 28th, and hopefully our goal is to provide wellness screenings and to be able to sign people up because we accept ATAP insurance. So if you feel like you're feeling some anxiety or depression, we'll be able to schedule your appointment right away. And then October the 5th is the zoo. So, and then the Black Brain Campaign. We're so excited. Last year we started to... we did the walk, the mental health awareness walk at Bartram Gardens. So we'll be doing that again this year. And in addition to that, we're going to have a green tie gala. So green represents mental health.
Nice.
So we'll Saturday, October 12th, will be our first green tie gala, and the 13th will be our mental health walk at Bartram Gardens. And that's it. That's
a nice little schedule. I mean, you know, that's a good thing. But the laborers are doing a whole lot, and on your own with the Boyer. Now, what is it again? The Boyer Counseling Group. The Boyer Counseling Group, which is very good and very needed in the African American community. We're just going to say it, and that's why we're talking today too during May Mental Health Month, is because of the stigma, because of people, you know, I think they're afraid to ask for help because in a sense where one, they really don't know some of the signs and symptoms. You know, people have been walking around really struggling with themselves since they were adolescents, and you spoke about having a counselor, which I think is great for that because, like I said, you grow up to be an angry, you know, adult if it's untreated. So I guess the question I want to ask you, well, of course it's not. Do you believe there's not enough information out there in the communities enough to educate people?
I don't know, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because I think we talk about going to the dentist, we talk about going to
That's
the doctor,
right.
but nobody's really talking about going to get your mental health checked.
Not at
it's
all.
Like your brain is the most important part of your body. It controls your whole bodily function. So you want to make sure that you're getting your brain checked. And it may not be anything that's going on at that specific time, but if you can just go ahead and get an assessment or a screening done at least once a year. Like have a therapist that you can talk to, because there's times where there might be stressful incidents that you don't know how to navigate by yourself, and then it'll be helpful for you to have somebody that you can speak to.
And sometimes people will go through a loss too. Sometimes a loss, someone close to you, you've lost. Sometimes you getting, you know, diagnosed with some type of chronic illness that puts you into this depression or make you feel as though, you know, you're secluded. You don't want to talk to people. Things of that nature. It's not all about being schizophrenia at times. It's some of the things that you deal with every day that you've learned to adjust. Your body suppress a lot, but it's just not healthy.
Just
in a sense.
being a parent is stressful sometimes. But just I know for me, dealing with a teenager drives me insane sometimes. Because it's like, what do? How do you help him or her
exactly
and keep your sanity? So.
Keep your sanity. You don't want to seem overbearing. You gonna say something, Cody?
Yeah. Why is it, or have there been studies done that that speak to why African Americans shy away from going to therapists or getting psychological help or acknowledging that there are psychological problems?
I'm sure that there are studies, but I can.
Do you find that to be the case?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But think about the one thing, and I always share this with people. When we were young, we were taught what happens in this house
stays in the house.
Stays in the house. So why would you go tell a stranger for a whole hour every week or twice a week, depending on how often you need services, what's actually going on in your house? And that's kind of what I focus on when I meet with individuals or families. I look at their family history because it helps me to try to understand like what has happened. How did you get to where you were? Because if I see a pattern of abuse, then it's more. Not necessarily, but okay, I can understand how you are now beating your child because you were beat, your mom was beat. Molestation is like that.
They're not going to give you that information, are they, that they're abused or
on the first visit,
or are an abuser?
So part of it, I do assessment. It's called the biopsychosocial assessment. So when you come into my office, you fill this form out. So that's one of the questions that
you get the
assessment.
History from.
You get a history, and then it helps me to create like a picture of your family. Now, to be honest, people may not tell me that in the first session because it's like, you don't know me, I don't know you. Why would I tell this person everything about me? So therapy, what people don't understand, is about establishing a relationship.
Right.
So once you are able to establish that trust, that level of trust, then things come out. So no, it's today I'm also on the board of Pennsylvania's Office of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. And they had a listening session, so we were talking about some of the things that we think needs to be fixed. So part of it is you have to get to know a client or anybody in order for them to, especially black people, like,
right.
because they're just not trusting
right.
I'm going to go sit in this office and tell this person everything about me, because what if I did beat my child? Because I was beat before. Like, beatings, but I got beatings. I mean, love my mom to death, but that's the only way she knew how to discipline me.
Exactly.
Now she's not beating her grandchildren or anything like that. She's not even encouraging us to beat our children. She's like, talk to them, just don't be loud with them.
Now you can go to jail.
Oh, absolutely, because it's. But then it was different.
Right.
It was different now. Now you know for a fact you're not allowed to, and I had to tell clients, you know, you're not allowed to beat your children. However, it's different if I'm sitting with a client and somebody else is sitting with another therapist, or I'll just say a white therapist, because I may be able to understand how, okay, we got beat. That's just what our parents knew how to do. And no, I don't think that you're trying to abuse your child, but just helping them to develop skills. Like, no, you don't have to beat them. These are some other things that you can use to help discipline your child. And then also helping to understand what's the issues about. Why did you even feel the need to beat them? Because sometimes the beating is about us. It's not really about them. I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to beat them.
Frustration.
Right, exactly.
You know, trying to handle the situation, you can't.
And they don't work.
No. And you have a challenge because we are a community.
Right.
So we don't want our information to get out to the community. So if one from our community, I'm sharing all this information with somebody from our community, why is it that I don't have to worry about it getting out in my community? That's where you have to really establish that trust.
So, and I let my clients know from day one, whatever happens in here is going to stay in here, unless you tell me that you're going to kill yourself or somebody else. Then it's my responsibility to make sure that those people are safe, and I make sure that you stay safe. You can't tell me that you're harming children or things like that. Like, I let them know it's my responsibility to report things like that, so they know that on the first day that they meet with me, that I'm not allowed to not say anything about that. But as far as like, no, I'll see people while I'm out that are clients, and I already tell them, if I see you on my, I'm going to speak. I might be with my family. You might be with your family. I don't want to be rude, but so we don't go into detail about who you are and how I know you. That's just it.
I think that's important, too, that they know initially. Yes, it is. Because people just don't like to share. And, you know, the first thing people say is, well, I don't need help. What's she going to help me with? You know, I watch my 600-pound life every day, you know, when it comes on. And the people do not want to go to therapy. They don't want to talk about why they're 600-plus pounds, knowing it's something deeper than just the food. But once they start talking, they can't stop. Those therapists, like yourself, you know you're a good listener, so you zero in what they're talking about to pick something that will make them just start, you know, just running off at the mouth, you know, like for your children. You might say, okay, well, how was it, you know, how did your mother, or did you ever feel some way? They're like, you know what, I did feel some way when I was younger, and then they'll start. It's just those special words that make people feel comfortable. I think a therapist has, you know, that gets people to expose their fears and, you know, their insecurities, because that's all it is. Once you get over the initial fear and insecurity, then to help, and they always feel better. And I think that's a good thing too, to let people know you do feel better once you get it off, once you let it go and you say it to somebody that you can trust.
What people don't, therapy is a process, so people are like, oh, I went to therapy, it didn't work. And the first question I ask, well, how many times did you go? Well, I only went once. Good question. Well, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You're only there for about 50 minutes for the first session, and most of that is paperwork. So it takes time. I've been doing this work now for a while. I can't even remember when I graduated, but I started, I guess now for about 10 years. So just specifically working on therapy. So I've learned so much about myself.
Right.
So it helps me to understand, and that also helps me with my clients.
Well, in many instances, you're dealing with people who don't want to be there. They're either being forced to come, or they're
not specifically me, but there are people who are for. So if you're coming to see me, then you have to come willingly. Like, I don't schedule appointments like
there's no,
like you can't call, you can't say, oh, I'm a schedule. No, I'm a schedule appointment for my husband. No, your husband has to call me because he needs to have a buy-in, or she needs to
Exactly.
have a buy-in, because if not, then it's not going to work. Because again, it's about establishing that relationship.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. So, so are the parents present when you speak to the children?
Sometimes. If for me, if I have really small children, if they're like not I won't even say that. I always, because I think
Like a
systemically.
monkey.
I was trained systemically. So for me, even if I'm meeting individually with children, I always invite the parents to come in.
Right.
And then because I think it's important for the parents to understand what their children are going through. So I'll let the children know, like, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm going to teach you how to have a voice and communicate this to your parents. Because the one thing I tell children, that their feelings matter. Your parents don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to be disrespectful, but you can let them know how you feel. So if you don't like something that your parents are doing, you can tell them.
I feel like I'm going through therapy right now because I'm not a good listener.
Yes, you are. This is after you've met with the child first. So you don't have the parent in there right away because they may want to talk about the parent, right?
So initially, I meet with the parent and the child together, just because, so they'll feel safe, because they're coming in to see a stranger. So at least if they have their parent there, they feel some sense of security. But then I'll ask the parent to leave, and I may meet with the child for a few minutes by themselves and explain like what their thoughts are, how they feel about coming to therapy, what they even know about therapy. And surprisingly, the younger kids know more about therapy than some of the older. Yeah.
And then you'll tell the parent what that child said?
No, I don't. No. Unless they, like I said, unless they're in danger of harming themselves, that's the only time I would say something. But no, my job is to help them to get it out first, and then communicate that to their parents, so they have a voice and they can share that. Because the goal is not to have them in therapy forever. So if I'm talking for them,
so you're teaching them tools so they can take with them, so they can try to express themselves and be heard. That's really, that's awesome.
It is interesting.
It really is. It really is. You know,
it's a craft. It's not like it. I remember my professor told me, she said, it's going to take you 10 years to be the best therapist. So I never wanted to rush through the process. I just learned the entire time, and I feel like I learned from some of the best, because my current supervisor was my professor in school, and initially I did not like her. I tell her this all the time. I didn't like her because she was very intrusive. She made me talk about things that I never talked about, and definitely wasn't going to talk about in front of a classroom full of people. But now I'm comfortable with it. It's like, oh, this is just part of my life. This is who I was. So now this made me who I am today.
And you can honestly say to your, to your patients, or, like, listen, I was there. I know how it is to have to, release and talk to someone and express, things that you thought you would never have a conversation with someone. I've been there, and you can honestly say it, and they can feel that. Some people just say it just to get you to talk, but you can come across in the sense, well, yes, honestly, I understand. I've been there. I understand that this is hard to want to talk to somebody you don't know. So that, because, like I said, it's some people, they don't mind telling, of different cultures, but, in the African American community, we don't want anybody to really know who we are in a sense. And with that, we were just talking along. I got to take a break, and we'll be back with more Lapis Live.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
It's a very busy start to the commute on the Philly roads. This traffic report, it's sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer. 95 northbound, it is at a crawl from about Naaman's Road up to 452. Right lane blocked by a crash. The left two lanes are now getting by. Further north on 95, it is stop and go from Penn's Landing all the way up to the Betsy Ross Bridge. Southbound 95, jamming as well as you head from Woodhaven to Academy, then Broad Street down to Island Avenue. On the Vine Expressway, you are jammed both directions end to end. Schuylkill Expressway eastbound, that is jamming up from 202 down to Belmont, again the Boulevard to South Street. Westbound Schuylkill jamming from University to Girard, then you're at a crawl from Montgomery all the way out to about 476. Boulevard northbound is heavy, the Schuylkill Expressway into Broad Street, and on the Blue Route northbound, it's heavy getting on from 95 up to Route 1. Southbound is jamming anywhere from St. David's all the way down to I-95. Walt Whitman Bridge eastbound is heavy into Jersey. That's because 42 southbound jams from the Walt Whitman Bridge down to 295. Stop and go on 676 southbound from Atlantic Avenue down 42. 295 southbound jamming from 38 down to the 42 freeway.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Brendan Joseph with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a word weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tammy Souza.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible overnight, with lows dipping to the upper 50s. On Saturday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs that reach the low 70s. Saturday night into Sunday morning, rain develops. It could be heavy at times, and it will linger on and off throughout Sunday, with waves of heavy rain through the morning and again at night. There could be a slight break in the afternoon, but it will be a gloomy day with plenty of cloud cover and highs only in the 50s. You can get the forecast anytime you like and follow our First Alert Doppler radar. Just download the free NBC 10 app.
Don't miss the Electric Magazine Show, hosted by Cody Anderson and Vicki Leach. Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
1 in every 4 of us can't make ends meet. We can keep pre-K for our children and still get rid of that ridiculous soda tax. Drug injection sites are not safe, and someone gets killed almost every day in Philadelphia. From poverty to potholes, we can do better. I am Anthony Hardy Williams, and I have been listening to you.
We can move Philadelphia forward together. Vote Anthony Hardy Williams for mayor. Paid for by Williams for mayor.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation? Follow us on social media using the hashtag onWURD. Be heard. Stay connected to Word Radio. Independent Black Media. The Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts presents the James and Jennifer Nixon Symposium, The Art of Collecting, Saturday, May 18th from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The day-long symposium will introduce artists and art lovers to why collecting is important and how to be empowered with the determination, information, and courage needed to collect original works of art. Artist and educator Nasher May Lindo will give an inspiring keynote on art collecting practices by she and her husband, actor Delroy Lindo. Dr. Brittany Webb, curator of the John Roden Collection at PAFA, will also speak. For more information, visit pafa.org.
The soulful sounds of legendary songstress Nina Simone will come to life on Sunday, May 19th, as Germantown Arts presents Singing Nina, an inspiring cultural festival and conference. This special musical tribute will feature a day-long celebration of Nina Simone's life and work, including a screening of What Happened Miss Simone, a panel discussion of Miss Simone's life and work, a VIP reception with music by Mbalia Singly, a garden party with DJ Rich Medina, and musical tribute titled Dear Nina, a sonic love letter by Drea Deneur, and strings by Rootstock Republic. You don't want to miss this extraordinary tribute to the legendary singer, songwriter, arranger, and civil rights activist and high priestess of soul, Nina Simone. Get your tickets today. Visit GermantownArts.com or call 215-839-6732.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
Hello and welcome back to More Labors Live. We're here talking about the stigma of mental illness in the Black community, and I see that people are not calling in, but we still want to be responsible as an organization. So you can contact Farida Boyer, especially if you're a member too.
If you're a member, yeah, right. If you're a member of Labor's District Council, we accept your insurance, which is the Allied Trade Assistance Program. I can be contacted at 215-500-1372. Again, my number is 215-500-1372.
And this is a conversation that needs to be, brought out to the communities, and people need to hear, because like you said, health, illness, and I guess when people say mental health, it's just so much of a stigma attached just to that mental health. It's just like people with, getting healthy nutrition. They hate to see the word nutrition. It's just like, no, that's healthy. I don't want to eat it. So you kind of get it. You kind of understand. But there are a lot of youth that are dealing with a lot of things that's going on. I think by you all going into the schools, the high schools, will really help a lot, because I want to talk a little bit about misdiagnosed children. Because sometimes I know at one time it just seemed like the doctors were so fast just to diagnose people with ADHD. Everybody had it. Like, oh no, my child, they're getting a check or they have ADHD and they take medicine. And I'm like, it just seems like the go-to diagnosis for kids who are unruly or who are experiencing, not paying attention or whatever the situation. Why do you think that was the situation? Because it seemed like an epidemic at one time.
I don't. So I believe that a lot of our children have some type of issues, and you have to think about where we came from. Like, it was like crack was an epidemic,
the mid-'80s
and
and
like
mid-'90s,
right?
yes.
So all of those things have, and I said I wanted to do some research on just how that actually impacted
the community, the kids, and it did, because if you think about it, crack cocaine was the mid-'80s to mid-'90s.
Right.
Now, a lot of those people are like 25 to 35 in a sense. And so you feel as though if they went untreated, in a sense, and then maybe they had kids, you see that they are dealing with a lot of, and I don't want to say this, but a lot of these teenagers, and I want to say teenagers, I would say like 20 to 35, they're angry.
Absolutely.
They're out there angry. They don't know how to manage their anger. They don't probably even know where it came from, in a sense. And so by them being maybe a part of that whole crack epidemic, in a sense, that baby boom that went during that time, that may have affected them in a sense, where they're short-tempered. There's no reasoning, because sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for a lot of these murders that are out here.
I wanted to share something with you guys. We had met with, so your husband and my husband host a meeting with the mayor, and we met with his violence prevention team. I think that's what they were called. But so they did a report, like a study of like violence and stuff in the city with the police district. This was some of the statistics that came out the report. Are any of you familiar with the term opportunity youth? Do you know what that means?
No, but I saw you post something about it.
So opportunity youth these are young people between the ages of 16 and 24. They're disconnected from school or work. That means that they're not in school and they're not working, and they're from ages 16 to 24. These youth are more likely to be involved in community violence. There's an estimated 29,000 of them opportunity youth. So it's 29,000 youth from ages 16 to 24 who are not working or who are not in school, and half of them are black.
And just walking in the streets of Philadelphia.
That's probably an undercount.
I said
yes,
estimated.
Exactly.
Estimated. So if they're seeing 29,000, you can probably add 5 or 10,000 or something like that. Yeah. So even imagine if but just think about when you were between the ages of 16 and 24, like what life was like for you. So imagine those, like, what are you doing all day? Like, those are the people that I think that we should really be paying attention to, because if you're not being educated, then how are you getting an income? So what are you doing to get an income? And
the question is, what can you offer them?
Yes.
Right.
You've got the information, the details of who they are, but what can you offer them to reasonably get them off that street?
Right.
Because at one time there was a draft. When you came out of school, if you weren't married, you went into the service. Where you got a skill, you got training, you came out, you had VA benefits, you could buy a home and go to school for free.
Right.
A lot of those kids who are on the street now would have benefited from some of that.
But I also, like, I talked to a lot of people, and I'm thinking of this one young man I was talking to, and he was just saying how he just stopped going to school. He was just like, I couldn't read. He was like, I would get in trouble. It wasn't, why would I keep going? Like, I couldn't learn. I think that, so I used to be a teacher at one time too. So when I always felt like that we should be educating children on their level, not necessarily because you're 5 you should be in first grade. Like, if you don't have the skills to be on this level, then we're going to work with you until you can get from this level to the next level. And I get that you need to for social and emotional development, but I think it's something that we need to do differently as far as children,
because it's going to be harmful later, because they're not going to be able to keep up. They're going to get frustrated. They become the bully or the class clown because they want to be distracted from the lack of education or, what they can learn and what they know, so they become a distraction. And, it's just
That's
sad.
what hurt our community when they took the trades out of the schools.
Yeah.
I mean, that hurt our community.
Because that was our opportunity,
Right.
that, I might not know how to do this.
I can take a car apart.
That's right. I can
Right.
take a car apart,
Right.
and then slowly but surely the measurements and fractions will come with it.
Right.
It's just like some people teaching themselves how to play a guitar but really don't know how to read music. And it becomes a situation like that, and it hurt us a lot. And I mean, I just don't understand why we can't get them back in the I mean, you talk about the election coming up and politicians, people, we need the trades back in the school to help these opportunity youth.
No question about it.
We really do, because even though, like you said, they're not going to school, they don't work, so they could even get an apprenticeship program right now.
There's a new class coming out too of these opportunity kids, because you're going to have people dropping out every day.
Right.
Yeah.
The same problem still exists.
Yeah, education is really key in the sense where to help you to know the basics and have an opportunity, because that's what education is supposed to be about. You're not supposed to leave high school without any type of opportunity that high school prepared you for, whether it's college or not. It doesn't always have to be college, but it's supposed to prepare you.
Right.
And that's not what these schools are doing for the folks that aren't qualified or feel comfortable, can't go to college.
Do you have any more announcements before we get off the air?
I know, right? No, I did all the announcements. Oh, that did go fast, folks. Thanks for listening. You have any you want to
I'm good. I updated you guys with everything I had.
Okay, well, we did good this Friday. Yes, Farida, she always. You're a busy lady, and we appreciate you, and I appreciate you. That's right.
Group, yes.
She said I dropped the Salim. I'm not mad
What was
at
Salim?
you.
That was your maiden name?
That was, yes. That was
Salim?
Yeah, Salim. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was nice. That's really good. Well, thanks for listening, you all. And like I said, this is Mental Health Month, so please, if you have any issues, seek help.
Yeah.
It's out there, for everyone.
Y'all
So
watch out for
enjoy.
Tony
And happy Mother's
with that
Day.
helmet on, moving down the street.
That's right. I got to get to Chestnut Hill real fast, about an hour. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy
Thank you.
Mother's Day
Same
to
to
you
you.
all.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.